Please listen carefully.
Well, hello, universe. Welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Summers McKay.
And I'm Kristy Jansen, and we're part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to make it one focused on solutions.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy podcast. Today is Tuesday, the 20th of October, 2020. So it's 10/20/2020.
I know. When I was writing in my journal this morning, I was like 10/20/2020. It was very fun. I wish we had 20 months so that we could have a 2020/2020.
Kristy, do you really want 20 months in 2020?
Well, it feels like it's been about 200, so why not?
Because I'm kind of good that there are only 2 left and that we're going to get to 2021 soon because, well, optimistically speaking, this has not been the best of years.
Let's hope that we do get to 2021.
Okay, so to frame this for all of our fabulous listeners, I am not the optimistic version of Summers today because my little one got up at 4 and then 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And I am so tired and I'm kind of like nauseous. I just want to put my head down and sleep. And Kristy she's really gonna lead the charge here on optimism today, right?
I'm gonna try, Summers, but I don't know if I have it in me to lift you up that high.
Okay, well, what happened on the Optimist Daily today that can lift my mood, Kristy?
All right.
What was the framing of stories that we think are going to change our tune?
As always, there's many fantastic headlines, but there's 2 that we chose for today that focus on brilliant kids, smart kids who are working to help make this a better world. And I'll start with the one that I decided to focus on, which is the headline reads, 8th grader wins $25,000 prize for her work on a potential COVID-19 cure. This is in the health section on the Optimist Daily. And Annika Chebrelu, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing her name properly. She's an 8th grader from Frisco, Texas, 14 years old, who made a discovery that could potentially provide a therapy to the COVID-19 virus. And she was recently awarded the 2020 3M Young Scientist Challenge Prize, which is a $25,000 prize for her invention, which uses in silico methodology to discover a lead molecule that can selectively bind to the spike protein of the virus that causes COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2 virus. And I was inspired by this.
This is a 14-year-old.
A 14-year-old, exactly.
She's not even in high school. She's an 8th grader. She knows what methodology is and knows what a lead molecule is and can find out that it selectively binds to proteins.
And sort of coupling with yesterday, the article that I was focused on yesterday with creativity in STEM sciences and STEM work, this young woman, her teacher, Cindy Moss, she was a judge, I guess, for the scientist challenge, for the 3M Young Scientist Challenge. She said that Annika has an inquisitive mind and uses her curiosity to ask questions about a vaccine for COVID-19. So the thing is, it's the curiosity that really makes the breakthroughs. It's that innovation, that innovative mind, that asking the questions that other people might think are stupid. Those are the ones that lead to the advances. And you have to think outside the box. You have to be willing to, just ask a question, because sometimes that's what breaks through. She was using her curiosity. She wanted to answer a question. She went in there with research. She had an innovative process. And she figured out how to target the lead molecule in the SARS-CoV-2 virus.
This is very impressive.
Yeah.
This is, and this is just such a good reminder to everyone who's sleep deprived because their children woke up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That there's a reason we want them to be inquisitive and curious and talking all the time.
The other thing that I liked about Annika is that she's she's happy and honored about the prize, but she's her work is, she's just learning. She's just now excited about being able to contribute something to this particular fight and to work alongside virologists and pharmacists to actually possibly develop her findings into something that can even go beyond this $25,000 prize. So I just find her inspirational, and that's why I wanted to talk about this story today.
Well, we were well aligned this morning, Kristy, because the story that also got me smiling and, gave me a more optimistic morning. We're kind of playing around with a new tagline on the Optimist Daily, which is a better start to your mornings. Stories for a better morning. Stories for my better morning this morning include a local 5-year-old saves kidnapped lemur in San Francisco. So Maki, a 21-year-old endangered lemur, went missing from the San Francisco Zoo. Lemurs are pretty slow primates, so they're not particularly difficult to catch. But fortunately, a local 5-year-old named James Trin spotted Maki in the parking lot of his daycare. So I guess the San Francisco Zoo put out a, call looking for Maki and
APB on Maki the lemur.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lemur APB. I'm sure everyone got a phone alert. He identified this lemur, alerted teachers, police were called, and Maki was recaptured. While dehydrated and hungry, Maki's fine. The primary suspect in the lemur's kidnapping is in custody. Basically, police suspect that he released the lemur after stealing it so as not to be caught with a lemur. The reward was given to the school, and James and his family have been given lifetime free memberships to the San Francisco Zoo. I just love this. What fun for a 5-year-old to be a little hero.
I don't know about you, Summers, but I know several kids who, when they were small, were obsessed with lemurs. For some reason, lemurs are they're just so attractive. Little kids get fascinated by them.
Well, because they have these great big eyes, and they look very human, but also not. They're like fuzzy humans with ears and tails.
Yeah. And then a coda to the other day when we talked about the highway for the slow lorises. Apparently, slow lorises are beautiful to look at and great to preserve, but also they have a toxic bite. So don't get too close to those lorises. Fortunately, lemurs aren't quite so dangerous.
No, lemurs do not have toxic bites, but they are also not good pets. And I imagine that lemurs are, they're obviously endangered, and zoos are certainly controversial and continue to be. But I know that zoos like the San Francisco Zoo do such great work to preserve and protect wildlife. And I'm very excited. I think we are going to take Brennan to the zoo. We watch a lot of Baby Einstein, and I realize there's just too much screen time in her life, but there's nothing else to do. We swim, we play in the park, we play at the beach, and we watch Baby Einstein and Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid is the movie.
You may want to add Madagascar now that we're talking about lemurs, because that's
exactly
another great.
I think that basically what we love about these stories today, and what we love about all the stories from, a diverse world of children, is that creativity, ingenuity, and integrity, all of these things can be fostered from a very young age. And clearly, parenting or whoever is their grown-up may have been a great role model to help them on the path. And I just think this is lovely. I loved the Lego story yesterday. I love, our little 5-year-old saving lemurs today. And it's just happy. And we just need more happy right now. We also do need some practical and tactical. So let's see what else we have from the Optimist Daily today.
The lead story today is how a gene therapy has brought back this Canadian boy's vision. That's another young man, an 8-year-old by the name of Sam, who was successfully treated with a gene replacement therapy to cure a rare form of blindness. That's a very positive story.
Can we pull one quote from that story that's so touching? Yeah. He says, "I never saw stars before, and I also never saw airplanes flying at night. And now he can." That is just beautiful.
I love it. Precious. So Ayurveda, 4 practices to help you develop a better relationship with food. There's an article there on Ayurveda and how you can use that to boost your health. the gharial, how this special creature was saved from near extinction. And that is quite not a warm and fuzzy looking creature, but it definitely deserves to live. It's
nobody's kidnapping gharials, but maybe
a year old type of animal. There's an article on 8 simple ways to run a more eco-friendly kitchen.
So I almost talked about this story, Kristy, because in our home, we are in this battle against flies because our trash seems to tremendously attract flies. So yesterday, I was actually Googling whether it was better to put excess food down the garbage disposal or in the trash. And obviously, composting is the best use of food. But it turns out from, the cursory research I did that garbage disposals are better than putting them in landfill, but ultimately composting. And this article has a bunch of other great ideas on how to greenify your kitchen. And I love it.
There's an article about upcycled shipping containers providing housing for Los Angeles homeless population. Successful trial of new drugs bringing ALS treatment closer to FDA approval. And ALS is that horrific disease. It's a degenerative neurological condition. I mean, I find it one of the most terrifying diseases. Anyway, so if there's any movement towards a treatment there that's effective, that's really a big deal. Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember the Ice Bucket Challenge from a couple of years ago and our friend Edie Barkin?
Let's see. We also have scientists using spinach to improve the efficiency of fuel cell technology.
Talk about green tech, right?
Exactly. Spinach is good for everything. And last but not least, this sleek, foldable bike helmet hardens itself in case of collision. So some great design stories, some great food stories, some great tech stories, and just all over. Definitely morning lifted. And Kristy, I will say I do feel better after spending a little time with you focusing on the positive news of the world today. And maybe, just maybe, I can be a bit perkier when we head to our next meeting. Well, good. Everybody, thank you for listening to the Optimist Daily Update. We promise to continue to share positive solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate in this changing world and ensure it is changed for the good. We promise to cover the current events with accuracy, legitimate sources, and offer you the information needed most to chart new paths for all of us. And please consider becoming an emissary on theoptimistdaily.com. And for just $5 a month, you can help support reader-funded independent journalism and be a part of the solution-changing consciousness that addresses our world's biggest challenges with a problem-solving mindset. Let's keep the Optimist Daily free for everyone who needs it, supported by those of us who can. Thank you so much for listening today, and we'll be back tomorrow.